Hi everyone, I'm going to talk about the latest new features that we have added in Illumine in last 1 or 2 months that you can make use of it, and it will help you in terms of streamlining the operation side of it. So one of the first thing that I would like to talk about is one stat that we have added on the dashboard, which allows you to see if any student has been absent in more than 3 days. You'll be able to see it there, and clicking on that, you'll be taken to the leave page where you can see who is on the leave today, and below the name of the students who has been absent for continuously 3 days in the school. So that is one thing that will help you in terms of finding out the student who has been absent for more than 3 days consecutively. We have added a new feature called All Reports, where you have multiple reports available. You can run any report queries and download that. Like for example, if I want to export the student data, I can do it. I can select the classroom and I can do that. If I have multiple centers, I'll have an option of downloading for multiple centers too. And then I can simply select for which classroom I want to generate the student's report. I can also filter based on the status. And when I click on this report, yeah, as you can see, the report has been generated. I can download this reports and open it up. So yeah, so it will have all the same data that you have it here. So similarly way you can run for any report. There are multiple reports for attendance, for staff attendance, billing. We've added new reports like aging, fee template, fee plan report. You can also export the deposit and credit histories, and a lot of other reports that are available here which you can download in form of that. We'll be adding more report in futures. Yeah, so this is quite useful. Instead of going and finding out, you can simply come here and pull out any data that you want. We've also added new feature under the installation report. If you go, we have an option of customizing the invitation email now. So clicking on this, you'll be able to see kind of what is the default mail looks like that as of now going. But if you want to change it, you can change it and then save it, and then that mail will start going. You have to make sure that these are the 4 tags that is there as part of the body of the email, because this will be dynamically replaced with, for example, if you're sending a student name Alex, the student name will be, this tag will be replaced with the student name, and similarly a school name will be replaced here, and the email and password needs to be there so that they can be replaced with their credentials. And also we have started showing the delivery reports of the email. So when you click on that, it will show you the log when you have sent the invite and what was the status of that invite for. So all that data you will be able to see by clicking on that here. It will show you whether it has been bounced or delivered or not delivered, like that. I think I have sent it to a lot of them, so it's not loading yet. We have also done a change of setting section. Earlier there were a lot of settings under here, which will soon deprecate from here and will be only available here. And we have created new sections where you can see all the settings. Say this is the activity where all the settings related to activities are present, like enable a disable activity, enable disable comments in what a particular activity, add a new custom activity, or even customize the settings for a particular activity. Let's say for diary, I want to enable a file upload to be there or a photo video to be there, so I can select that. I want to skip approval for this particular activity even though they do not have permissions directly approval, but for this activity there will be exception, it will automatically go to the parent, so you can do that. We had a feature called draft mode where you can enable that, and then instead of sending directly to a parent, you'll get an option to save as draft, which you can later edit and publish it. We also have a feature of tagging the lessons and the milestones that has been done today while doing the activity. So by enabling that, you get that options. So for example, for diary, I have enabled these options. So now when I go to diary activity, I will be getting, so I have not checked in anyone. So I'll be able to select the students. I can write down anything. I can now select the milestones. So it opens the lesson plan. And if I have a lesson plan here, it starts showing those milestones. So let me quickly add a lessons here. So if I go to the weekly lesson plan for demo room and add as, and let's say there are 2 lessons that I want to add, or 3 lessons. So I added 3 lessons that needs to be done today. Now when I go to an add post activity, and if I say I want to post this, and I click on add milestones, it will open all this. And if any milestones, for example, for this activity, turn around as a milestone, able to differentiate. So I can select this. These milestones will be part of activity update and it will go to the parents. So I can add those milestones, I can attach anything, I can save this as a draft, or I can send it to the parents. When I save as a draft, it will be saved like this, and with the option of publishing it, you can edit and publish it also later. So I click on that. Like very similar to approval, you can send this to parents. So this is the setting section that I was talking about. There are multiple, so you can explore all the settings options that are there. It's quite self-explanatory. You can look at them. Then in the lead section, we have added an option of creating a lead form. This form is useful for putting this form or integrating this form in your website, so that anybody submits an inquiry or admission inquiry, that directly comes in Illumine under this all lead section, and then you can start following up from there. So no need of separate integration. You can take out this form and put it on their website, or you can take out a QR code of this form, take a printout and put it at reception. So any parents comes, they can scan and fill it. So like for example, I've created a form like this. So if I show you preview, it will have all the fields that I've added, what is the name and then the birth date. If anything else I want to, so this is the form that I've configured. You can customize this, add your fields that you want, and then this form will be available. You can take a link of this form and then embed it on your website in under iframe, or you can take the QR code, download this and print it somewhere, so that parents can scan it and then open the form and then submit the inquiry directly from there also for drop-ins that is happening at your center. So create a form is very simple. You come here, you have an option of selecting new sections or this. So let's say sample form 1. In the new sections, you have these predefined fields, which is the child information that you want to capture. There's a default mandatory fields like name, gender, and birth date. And then if you want both the parents, you can keep both the parents, or if you want the inquiry form to be minimal with one parent, you can keep it like that. So these all fields have come. If I don't want any of these fields to be part of the inquiry form, like for example, I don't want, let's say, gender, I can remove that. And if I want to add any other custom field, let's say as a checkbox, like for example, is child potty trained, you want to ask that, or want emergency and anything that you want, you can create that and add it. So all those fields will be there as part of the form that I've added. I can save this form, I can preview how it looks like. So something like that the form looks like. So this was the form. There are a couple of settings below that, like so you have to make sure this live form status is live before embedding on the website, otherwise it will not be able to access it. Then you can select the staff that will be notified as soon as somebody submit this form. So this will get a push notification in Illumine that a new lead form has been submitted, something like that. You can put a name, so let's say inquiry form. This is the title of the form that you want to put on the form, and then the lead status. What you want to be assigned to those leads that will get created. And after submitting, do you want to redirect to a URL, then you can give that, otherwise a thank you message will show as a default. So that's how you can set up this form. It's very simple. Once the form is set up, I can take out this form URL by saying copy link, and then I can put it on a website, or I can just simply show you how it. So it's a public form, it can be put on the website, no login or anything is required. And when they submit it, it will automatically create the lead. It will render something like this. So as soon as the leads has been submitted, it will start showing here, and the source will be automatically populated here. So yeah, and also we have added a setting where you can select the columns that you want to see in this lead table. I want to see these columns, I can select, and those columns will be visible. And each column has their individual search also now available that you can quickly use to quickly search. As soon as the form is submitted, this lead will be created with all the fields that has been filled. You can record very similar way that you used to record activities, which is like if you send a mail, if you show around anything that has been done, send an email. When did you send? You can select that, and when is the next follow-up? Let's say follow-up is tomorrow. I can keep recording those activities here. We have also added a new feature where you can record tasks, which lets you add the task to follow up or remember. So you can simply click on this task. When is the due date? You can also categorize them by different labels. So under labels, you have you can define the labels, and then you can also assign it to a particular staff that this task needs to be done and when it needs to be done. So I want them to be, let's say, called on Friday, the call, and I can create at what time. And once the task is done, you can simply mark it done, or you can add a comments also if anything needs to be added after task. What was the You can also find out all the tasks under the all tasks tab, where you can filter it out what is due for today, this month. You can filter by pending, done, all that. So this is under the leads that we have done. This is the new features that we have enabled for the leads. We have also added a new feature called expense management, which you can find under the fee section called expense management. You can create multiple ledgers or multiple registers based on the categories of the expenses. For example, I have created 2 registers for supplies and staff salaries. I can create like payments, like say another one which I want to create. So I can create a separate register like that. Under that, you will have an option of creating a records of each expense that you're making. So like for example, this I have ordered notebooks, Santoys, I can have it there. Let's say color or clay that I've ordered for kids, so I can keep them as a supplies. 10 boxes. Any detail that you want to add, how much was it? And if I have a bill of that, I can attach that too. And when it was done, I can do that and add it. So that way you can keep maintaining the logs of all the expenses under this page. All the expenses here. You can filter them by whatever the labels or the categories that you have done here. And you can also download this Excel of all the expenses from here, or download this Excel of all the registers from here. So that lets you manage the expenses and keep the track of those expenses. We also have a feature called applications, which we have recently released. It can be used for multiple scenarios. One is like if you want to, this is for existing parents that is already your, like their kids are coming to your center. You want them to request some documents from them. You want them to sign a contract like a fee or a terms and condition or anything, or you want to run a survey. All that can be achieved through this new application forms. By clicking on this new application form, you can simply create a new form, form 1. So if and clicking on field, it's just like creating a Google form. You can select the type of the fields that you want to be there in the form, like it's a number, text box, yes, no, checkbox, drop down. Drop down is a select list, multi-select list, instruction for parent that you want to keep in the form itself. And sections is basically a group of fields that you want to create. You want to pick them a date, and you want them to put a digital signature. All that can be done. So let's say sign, and I want them to upload documents, so I can simply select a document request. Let's say vaccination certificate, and this is mandatory. I want them to upload it, keep it digital signature. I can also keep that mandatory. Again, similar to the lead form, it's a draft and the lead's live status. I can keep it live, and who all will get notification when the form is submitted. I can do that. There's also a setting called says allow parents to initiate application. So this is for the forms that is available to parents to get started instead of you sharing it to them. You can use this settings. Once it's there, I can simply save that. I can also preview it how it looks like. So that is how something it look like. I can change the order also. So I can put this file selection first and then signature. And then once the form is ready, I can simply click on this option and say share. And then I can select the student and share that. And then parents will be able to see it and fill it. You can also then track how many submissions are done, how many pending are done, how many has been under the review and approved and rejected like that. So for example, one is under the review. I can click on that and see this data. I can click on that and view what was the submissions look like. So if they've attached the file, they've attached the digital signature. I can approve that, reject that. Yeah. Quite useful feature you can use for multiple scenarios. Yeah. So these are the all new features that we have recently added. Please try, and if you have any questions, reach out to us.